Guys, here we go with yet another viewer-suggested video. At Custard Farms 8535 asked this: loving my Tone Master Pro and your content showing me how to use it to its full capacity. One request, if I may. Can you do a deep dive into reamping? I know you've covered this before, but I'm sure I'm missing a couple of steps. Cheers from down under. Well, sure, we can do that. Now, the last time I made a video about reamping, I used Reaper because it's freely available for both Mac and PC, but I found out later in the comments that I was using it all wrong. And you know, I'm not surprised at that. I don't have a lot of time in between videos to learn new concepts, new software and stuff like that. I use Logic Pro, and I was hoping that Reaper would be close to Logic Pro. Some of it was, some of it wasn't. So this time, I'm going to use Logic Pro. So first of all, what is reamping and why is it so important? Well, let's say that you have just finished your first masterpiece and it sounds fantastic, except that the delay was wrong on your guitar. What can you do? Can you re-record it exactly perfectly again? Probably not. So do you use the perfectly played track, but with the wrong delay? Ooh, decisions, right? Well, this is where reamping comes in. Let's take a look and see what the Tone Master Pro manual has to say about reamping. Tone Master Pro offers two USB audio recording modes: standard recording and reamp recording. Global settings offer an option for configuring Tone Master Pro to route dry audio tracks from a digital audio workstation through the instrument or mic/line channels for post-processing or reamping. Reamp mode. Select on when reamping dry tracks while recording using a digital audio workstation. Default setting is off. Note that reamp mode is a special mode that mutes the rear panel instrument and mic/line input jacks. Tone Master Pro will return to standard recording mode when powering off and back on again. Standard recording mode. Standard recording mode lets the user record either Tone Master Pro input channel as a dry track for later reamping, along with a combined stereo process track. The stereo process track can be an instrument channel, mic/line channel, or both, summed, when a dual channel routing template is used. Reamp recording lets the user route previously recorded dry audio tracks from a digital audio workstation back to the Tone Master Pro for processing. Dry tracks can be routed through either the instrument or mic/line channels directly into the first signal path processing block. Note that incoming USB audio is not routed through rear panel effects loop 1 or 2, and that reamping mutes the rear panel instrument and mic line inputs. To enable reamp recording, touch the gear symbol at upper right to access global settings, and touch the I/O bottom at the bottom of the touchscreen. Then touch USB at the left in the I/O settings screen, where reamped mode can be turned on and off. Okay, that's a lot of information. So how do we apply it? Well, the first thing to do is open up Logic Pro. You got to create a new track. I'm creating an audio track. I'm using audio inputs 1 and 2 and output 1 and 2. Now what we have to do is set up the audio preferences. We'll go to Logic Pro, Settings, Audio, Output Device to be whatever your audio interface is, and Input Device to be Tone Master Pro. Now click on Apply. Close this window. So we have our Audio 1 track. It's stereo. It's using inputs 1 and 2. So let's rename it Original Guitar Track. There. That's better. Now we need to add a new track to handle the dry, unprocessed signal coming from USB 3. Click the plus sign right here. We're creating another new audio track. But this time where it says input 1 and 2, select input 3. Audio output stays as output 1 and 2. Click Create. The result is a mono track using USB 3 as the input. Logic Pro named it Audio 2, but let's change it to DI track. There it is. Now we need to arm both tracks by clicking on the R so that they're both flashing. Highlight original guitar track. So now when we press the record button in Logic Pro, it'll record the processed guitar tracks on track 1 and 2, and it'll also record the dry unprocessed track on track 3. Let's give that a try. Let's press the red circle here, which starts the recording process. Okay, now we got to go ahead and save this. And now let's turn off the red R's. Turn off the input monitoring. I guess I didn't rename this track to DI track. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, now let's save. I've muted this track. Let me play a little bit of the original guitar track. Okay, now let's mute that. Let's play the DI track. Okay, now that I've listened to my original guitar track, it has too much delay on it. So I do want to reamp this track. How do we do that? Well, first thing we need to do is click on Logic Pro, click on Settings, go to Audio, change Output Device to be Tone Master Pro, and click Apply. Now, just a note, your audio will not be coming out of your studio monitors unless you already have them connected to your Tone Master Pro. I use Focal Studio monitors and a PreSonus audio interface, but my Tone Master Pro is connected to a QSC TouchMix 16 mixer that feeds a pair of QSC K10.2 speakers. So close the settings panel. Now we create a new track for the reamped guitar part. It's going to be audio, but audio input is back to input 1 and 2. Click Create, and let's call this guy Reamped Guitar Track. Now we need to make sure that the red R is not highlighted on either one of our original tracks. And we also click on the M right here to mute the original guitar track because we don't want that playing back into the Tone Master Pro. We only want the DI track playing back so that it can get reamped. Now I'm going to go into the Pro Control app, click on Delay, and turn that mix down to, let's say, what? 20, 21? That's good. Now click on DI track. Look at the DI track's strip over here on the left. It has USB 3 as input and stereo output. Click where it says stereo out, then go down to output, over here to mono, and output 3, where it says USB 3 there. This will send the signal from Logic Pro to your Tone Master Pro on USB channel 3. Now click on Reamped Guitar Track so it gets highlighted, and we click on the R so that it's ready to record, and we're ready to reamp. Once again, go to the Tone Master Pro, click the settings icon, go down to I/O, go to USB, see reamp mode is off, turn it on. So what is this going to do? When you press the record button in Logic Pro, it will send the dry DI track to the Tone Master Pro on USB channel 3. The Tone Master Pro in reamp mode will process the dry DI track and send the output back to Logic Pro using USB 1 and 2, where it will record onto our newly reamped track. All right, so we've got the short riff here. Let's go ahead and reamp it. Now when you're done reamping, go back to the Tone Master Pro, click on the gear icon, click on I/O, click on USB, turn reamp mode off, and then reboot your Tone Master Pro. Now, go click on Logic Pro, click on Settings, go to Audio, change Output Device to Studio 18C. That's my PreSonus. Make sure Input Device is Tone Master Pro. Click Apply. Close the Settings panel. Now again, let me play you just a little bit of the original. Now let's mute that. Rewind. Again, here's the DI track, the dry track. Rewind. Mute that. Now unmute the reamped guitar track. Here is our new reamp track with the delay mix turned down. Now at this point you can compare your reamp track to the original track, see which one you prefer. So that was a deep dive look into how you can reamp from your Tone Master Pro into your digital audio workstation, which in this case was Logic Pro. I know that was an awful lot of information to take in. But if you do this a few times, eventually you'll get used to it. Just watch the video, over and over, take some notes. Make sure you're getting all the steps right. If you get it right, it's easy. Seriously. And even though you probably won't reamp all the time, it's probably a good idea to record that dry track from USB 3 every time you put down a guitar track, just in case. Now, if you have any other questions on reamping, drop me a line here. And if you're still here, thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, drop me a comment here, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Next Wednesday, we will have all new content. You don't want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I'll be talking with you again next week.